Hello, grade 5 students, most specifically 5-2 and 5-3, because I've already had this lesson with class 5-1 on Monday. But 5-1, if you are watching, then you can take notes in your notebooks or on a piece of paper. Mr. Waterman here with today's mathematics lesson. Today is Thursday, November 12th, 2020. I hope everyone is doing safe and well. And yes, this means we are back online again. Okay, so 5-2 and 5-3, please listen very carefully. On Monday, I told 5-1 that we were going to have a test in area and perimeter on starting next week. So starting November 16th, November 19th for 5-2, and November 20th for 5-3. I'm not sure what's going to happen with the schedule yet, but today's lesson on symmetry, which I will start in just a few minutes, this lesson will not be on next week's test, okay? So if you need to go back through your homework books and review the lessons that we have already done on perimeter, area of parallelograms, and area of triangles, please go back and review those lessons, okay? So now, let's get on with today's lesson. Today's lesson is on symmetry. And the first thing I'm going to do, in my notebook, my table of contents, I'm going to write symmetry, S-Y-M-M-E-T-R-Y. Symmetry, and we're going to be on page number 5. Okay? I'll just go ahead to page 5. I'm going to write my title again, symmetry. Okay? Now, I can't do this with you in person because you all are at home. So I will just do it in this video. And I'm going to start by taking a sheet of paper. It's a plain sheet of paper here, okay? And I am going to just fold it. I'm going to fold it so both parts are going to be the same, okay? All right. So there. So I folded it one way. Okay. And now I'm going to fold it one more time. Like this. Okay. And you can see that the halves are the same on each side, okay? So basically here, I have 2 lines of symmetry, okay? Now I keep saying this word symmetry. I'm going to explain what it means, okay? First, I'm going to write my objective. You can probably see the objective at the top of the paper. The objective is to identify rotational and line symmetry. Okay? So I'm going to start down here first because I have folded this paper. All right? And I'm going to write, if a figure can be folded in half. And the two halves are congruent the figure has line symmetry. Okay, so this is my figure, and it can be folded in half. Now, when it says the two halves are congruent, congruent means they are the same. So if you fold that paper, it's going to be the same on all sides. This is line symmetry. And of course, you can see the line here. You can see the line here. We call the fold is called a line of symmetry. Okay? Now you can see it here in the textbook. You can see this example here. So for step 1, use a sheet of rectangular paper. Step 2, try to fold the rectangle in as many ways as possible so that both halves are congruent. Congruent meaning the same. Your rectangle has 2 lines of symmetry. So then you draw dashed lines to show the lines of symmetry. Do you see how they've drawn the dashed lines there? So now, if I go back to my figure, if I open my figure up, I can draw my dashed lines right here down the line. Okay. And then I can draw my dashed lines down the other way. That will show you my lines of symmetry. All the way down. Okay? Now, just to show you an example of something that does not have lines of symmetry, I'm going to take another sheet of paper. I'll move this one to the side, as you can see. Okay. Here's another sheet of paper. And let's say I take the same sheet and I fold it over like this. And then I fold it over like this. Now, can you see any lines of symmetry here? Well, no, because I didn't even fold it. The sides are not even the same when you open it back up, right? This is a different size than this part is. This is not a symmetrical shape at all. Okay? So, I'm going to move here to the other side now. And I'm going to read you an example. Learn about it. Suppose the blades of this windmill, this is a windmill here, make a half turn. A half turn is 180 degrees. How will the appearance of the windmill compare to the way it looks in this picture? If you can turn a figure less than a full turn about a fixed point, and the figure looks exactly the way it did before the turn, that figure has rotational symmetry. Okay? Let's look at this here. It'll make it a little bit easier for you to understand. One full turn is 360 degrees. One half turn is 180 degrees. 1/4 turn is 90 degrees. Okay? So here, they're talking about tracing the hexagon at the right, which is here, and cutting it out. Then you can use a ruler and a compass to draw a circle as shown on the right. You would label the circle as shown, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Then you can place the point in the hexagon on the center of the circle. With the point of your pencil, hold the figure at the center point. With your other hand, you rotate the figure slowly. So you would rotate it. You would hold part of it here, hold the point here, and then you would rotate the hexagon. You continue turning until the figure matches the original image. What kind of turn resulted in a figure that matched the original image? How many degrees is this? Does the hexagon have rotational symmetry? Okay, so those are our two types. For now, we're going to focus on line symmetry for this week. Now, for an activity today, I'm going to use a special sheet than I did before. And of course, this sheet will be uploaded onto my website. So we'll go through the directions together, okay? We'll keep it a very simple activity. For part 1, it says circle the shapes that are symmetrical, okay? You're going to look at the shape. If you can draw a line down, and if it's the same on both sides, that's going to be symmetrical. Remember the example we used with the rectangular paper? You're going to circle A, B, C, D, E, or F if you think they are symmetrical. If they are not symmetrical, do not circle them. Okay? Let's do one together. Well, I'm looking at my rectangular shape. This is definitely symmetrical, so I will circle it. Let's look at part 2. Draw in the line or lines of symmetry for each of the following shapes. So by drawing in the lines, what I like to do first, I'll do one for you. I like to start here. That's my starting point. That's my end point. Okay? And then you can draw a dotted line down to show you the line of symmetry. Okay? Do that for the following shapes. For part 3, you are going to complete each of the following drawings to make the shapes symmetrical. So there's a dotted line on each of them if you look very, very closely. So you're going to use those dotted lines to help you finish the shape. So what I'll do here Since I'm going to finish my shape. Bring it all the way down. There we go. Now, for part 4, complete the following table. You have different shapes. You have to tell me the number of sides, and you have to tell me the number of lines of symmetry. A, an equilateral triangle, where your keyword is triangle. How many sides does a triangle have? A triangle has 3 sides. How many lines of symmetry does a triangle have? It has 3 lines of symmetry. Okay, you're going to complete the table for the rest of the shapes. Part 5, it says to list 5 capital letters that are symmetrical. 5 capital letters that are symmetrical. So you can choose any 5 capital letters. I'm going to choose one and choose the letter A. Here we go. I'm going to make my capital A. And I know it's symmetrical because I'm going to draw my dotted line. And it's going to be congruent. It's going to be the same on both sides. Then finally, for part 6, all you have to do are list 5 capital letters that are not symmetrical. And the first one that comes to mind when I think about it is the letter F. Here's my capital F here. And as you can see, there is no way to draw a line of symmetry through the F because it's not going to be congruent on either side when it's complete. And that is it for today. So please review your notes. Please study for your test on area and perimeter. Remember, area of a parallelogram and area of a triangle. If we have school next week, yes, you will be tested. If for some reason we have to go longer with online lessons, I will postpone the test until we are back in school. That's all for today. Please email me if you have any questions. Stay safe and well, and I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Bye-bye.